gentlemen, welcome to Walking with J.Beau. On this wonderful cold April evening where it's been raining for 2 days. We may get rained on this walk. We'll see. Hey. That individual right there, I've walked by him quite a few times on my walks, and you've seen him before. He always says the same thing: Jesus is Lord. Every time. So I hope everybody is enjoying the Trump presidency so far. His overall approval is good. 52% of voters do not support what he's doing with tariffs, which I guess is about expected. And, well, we're going to get to where we're going. In for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. So I guess it's time to reiterate how necessary it is to do what he's doing with tariffs. A lot of people may argue that it's not. And if that was the only thing he was doing, I would not agree with what he's doing. But he wouldn't be doing what he's doing if that was the only thing he was doing. That makes sense. Saw an interesting video on YouTube. And on the video, the guy was talking about guitar stuff, because it was a guitar channel and I play guitar. And so he's talking about how the tariffs are pretty much going to end inexpensive guitars, because they're all imported. Not all, but most of them. So he didn't take into account a lot of things. What he should have just said was, guitars coming in from China, products coming in from China, the prices are going to go up. That's all he had to say. The ones being made in Indonesia, that's not going to affect the prices. And if they do, it'll be minimal. Prices of stuff has already gone up in the past 3 or 4 years anyway. So, you know, and what it is, and you know, I told him that on his channel in a comment, is that this is a product of fear porn being sold by CNN and these anti-Trump news media outlets, basically just trying to denigrate whatever Trump's doing because of an election next year. I said, you sound uninformed, you don't have all the facts, you haven't figured in deregulation, you haven't figured in the tax cuts for businesses, big and small, you haven't figured in that we're not going to have a tariff war with Mexico, the importer of guitar amplifiers, guitars for Fender. So it's pretty much just going to affect the prices of things made from China. So buy a guitar made from Indonesia. So what's going to happen is, instead of people buying guitars for their music stores to sell from China, they're going to start buying guitars from Indonesia or stuff made in Vietnam or what have you. These countries are coming to the table to have a conversation about having no trade barriers. And, you know, people just are not giving this enough time. And they're panicking. Which I understand that, but, you know, you're getting your information from panic porn news sources. They're trying to sell advertisement and circulation and views and clicks and, oh my God, everything's going to go up. Well, that sells, that gets people clicking on stuff. They're panicked. They want to get more information. So that's all that is. A lot of it is overblown rhetoric, nonsense. They're the same people that say inflation's going to go through the roof and this and that, and it takes 7 to 10 years to build a factory here. No, it doesn't. What takes 7 to 10 years to build a factory isn't actually building the factory. Okay? Pay attention to what I'm telling you. The 7 to 10 years to build a factory is 5 to 7 years of permitting process, legal stuff, regulations from the government, okay? Remember I just said deregulation? This guy didn't take that into account. You can get a factory built in a couple of years when you expedite the process for permits. It's all permits, taxes, fees, greasing palms. Trump is deregulating all of that. He signed the executive orders because it takes people 10 years to build something. So these guys they're going on old information. So it's very important to understand that and all the facets of this. Some things are going to go up. People aren't going to buy them. So sellers will adapt. Instead of selling $2 trinkets made in China on their Etsy page, they're going to switch to getting another supply somewhere. And there will be other suppliers to choose from. Also, Trump has stated that tariffs for computer products will not go up. So that'll keep the prices of those down. And that's the thing with this, you know, it isn't like every single thing is going to be tariffed. And that's what the media makes it sound like. It's selective, it's done intelligently. We'll be okay, folks. Relax. Relax. Don't panic. Ooh, definitely cool tonight. I think I'll do a 5-mile walk instead of 6 because I'm not going to push my luck with the rain. And I want to get at least my 5. And these are the Easter decorations, which are taking a beating. So we'll see what they do with that. So I'm going to take a minute to talk about something very serious. This is something very serious. All right. This is really terrible and it's tough to talk about, so let's just get it out there. In Colombia, there was a trans woman, biological male, who was murdered, attacked. First, I'll give you a little bit of her background. She was an activist, a leftist, somebody we don't like, okay? But something horrible happened to her, and it is inexcusable. It's something that we must condemn, always. So, here we go. All right, her name is Sarah Millery Gonzalez. That's the legal name she took. With a female name, and again, before I put this out there, I got no issues with transsexuals. I do have an issue with transgender ideology. They're two different things. One is a psychological issue. The other is a neo-Marxist transgender ideology issue. A cancer on society, ruining women's sports, mutilating children, etc., so on and so forth. It's far left extremism. Okay, we'll get that out of the way. So anyway, I don't know the whole story about how the event transpired, but she ended up being attacked by more than one person. Don't know who yet. They haven't been arrested. And they raped her. Okay? So they raped her, and then after they raped her, they broke each one of her limbs, one at a time. Snapped it so she couldn't use them. Terrible. And then they threw her in a river. And while she's flailing her broken limbs trying to survive, somebody filmed it. And I watched the video. And it broke my heart and it affected me. It affected me because you hear things about how horrible man can be. And I don't mean men or women in general. I mean humanity, man. And then you watch that on a video. She just wanted to survive, you know? And she didn't. Nobody helped her. They filmed it, put it on the internet. You know, what do you say to that? I can't wrap my head around that. It's been bothering me since I saw that yesterday. You know, I don't care what side of it you're on. That is awful. It's horrible. Those people need to be found. They need to be punished. Now here's what it does. Okay, first I'll try to cover both sides of it, because there are two sides of it. That's just how it is. Now you have a political polarized country everywhere. Colombia also. And this was driven by neo-Marxist ideology. And that's what caused all of this anger and hatred. And that's just the truth of it. People on the right didn't promote this. Most people on the right have a live and let live mentality. Do what you want to do, be your own self, live your life, but leave the damn kids alone. And then we have these activists going into ladies' rooms dressed as women, masturbating in a ladies' room, posting videos online, and women feel absolutely threatened by it. So that started women talking about trans women don't belong in bathrooms. Then you have the whole trans women are women. That's the far left extremist ideology, which is false. They're either trying to create the division we have, which I believe that's the case, because I don't think they really believe that a trans woman is a woman, or a trans man is a man. If it were the case, you wouldn't need the word trans in front of it. They would just be a woman. So anyway, they have to go into these places and rub it in women's faces, piss off everybody, and now you're starting to see violence against trans people. For the same reason you're seeing violence against Elon Musk. They want the division and chaos, and it's all coming from the left, folks. All of it. Leftists. A group that this trans woman belonged to. So, as I said, this woman was in the river drowning. You could see her trying to use her broken limbs, which she couldn't, obviously. They were broken. They were just these rubbery things doing nothing. And the look in her face, the fear, and her sheer will that she didn't want to die is going to stick with me for a long time. And, God, humans have to be better than this. We've seen incidents in the United States where some good old boys down south put chains around a black person and drag them for miles, killing them. There's bad people on both sides, I guess is my point. And we need to start talking. And we need to start sorting this out. We've got to stop hating each other. I've spewed a lot of rhetoric on my walks, preaching unity. And I've also talked about times where I'm so angry with liberals, I hate them. And it's hard to filter everything out and just be Jesus about it, if you know what I mean. So, I hope I'm making sense. You know, this trans woman, Sarah, seemed like a nice person. Her mother released a few pages from her diary because she felt it was necessary so people could understand who her daughter was. Or, you know, somebody's going to leave a comment. Stop calling her she. Stop calling her the daughter. It was a man. That's the kind of stuff we need to stop doing. Just stop it. You know, when you're telling other people what pronouns to use, you're doing the same thing that the cult does that pisses everybody off, forcing you to acknowledge certain pronouns that you don't want to say. So why would you tell me that? You see what I'm saying here? It's like a circular argument. So, anyway, her mother released pages from her diary where she had said, the person that was killed said that she prayed to God pretty often. She was pretty religious. She wore a crucifix. And probably had deep conversations with the Lord that were private between her and himself. You know? Lord God Almighty is the judge of us all, not you or anyone else. So if somebody has psychological issues, they don't understand, they've been fighting it their whole life, gender dysphoria. Some people legitimately have gender dysphoria. That's a psychological issue. Why were they made that way? I have no idea. I don't know. The problem is you have these activists and these cultists pushing stupidity and nonsense that it is making it bad for people that legitimately have a problem. Just like when you see a whole bunch of young black people in inner cities doing incredibly stupid things, spewing racist commentary like whitey needs to be killed, that also does not represent all black people. So people need to distinguish the differences there. So anyway, she prayed to the Lord to protect her and keep her from being attacked and injured, because she felt that that was going to happen. And she was doing what she believed in. And they killed her. Now, I've seen an internet report going around that this trans woman was involved in an armed robbery, and this was some kind of vigilante justice. I've not seen anything to corroborate that at all. And I think that is just people on the right realizing how horrible this was, and they're trying to find excuses for it, like, well, she deserved it. And that makes me sick. Most of the people that are MAGA and on the right are very upset about this. And they should be. It's horrible. When you see it for yourself, you know, some people are trying to say, well, I'll wait till this car goes by, it's noisy. You know, they say things, you know, like, well, you have these gangs and stuff in Colombia, and if you see something like that and you try to help or save her life, they'll do the same thing to you that happened to her. Okay, well, I really don't know from Adam about Colombia and gangs. I know the cartels in Mexico, something like that, so it's probably similar. But the person uploaded it on the internet. And now that has brought a world of heat down on these gangs by the government and the police and the public. Everybody's upset about it. Even the people that don't like trans people or the left, like myself. I don't support transgender ideology. I want it out of the schools, I want it out of society, I want it out of women's sports. That doesn't mean I hate trans people. I hate what they're doing, forcing people to comply with it, or they lose their job or whatever. They'll have a professor that flunks them in class. So I'm sure what I'm saying, you know, makes sense and you understand what I'm saying. So anyway, it was absolutely brutal. There's really no way to put any sugar on it at all. It was a terrible thing that was done. And, you know, I had to go watch that video. I'm glad I did, but it is stuck with me. It was very difficult to watch. And I watched it more than once. I wanted to be able to help her so badly. And that's really what it is. She needed help and nobody helped her. Just a horrible thing from humanity. And, you know, worse things than that happen around the world. People are burned alive in cages because they're Christian. So this happened to her because she's trans. We have that other stuff happening because people are Christian. We have what happened October 7th in Israel because they're Jews. You know, it's the world can be an ugly place. And humanity always seems to find a way to show its ugliest. Very disheartening. So, I just wanted to get that out there and talk about it. It's been bothering me. It's a terrible thing. And, you know, we've seen instances of this involving LGBT and gay males having the same thing done. We have witnessed this happen to women. We had migrants come into this country, criminals, abduct children, rape them, murder them, stuff them in drain pipes, leave them for dead under overpasses after raping a 12-year-old girl for 2 hours. Horrible things. So we'll get through all of this eventually. Let me just put it this way, okay? Jesus is not coming fast enough. Please, Lord Jesus, come save us, because I don't think we're going to be able to do it on our own. So, with that stuff out of the way, I'm going to try to be cheery. Have some good weather coming tomorrow, finally. It's going to be in the mid-50s with sunshine. All this bad weather is going to blow out of here. It's been hanging around since Friday, ruining everything. We had no range day this week. None. I do have the camera mounted on my chest, just above my top of my rib cage, well, the bottom part of my rib cage, on the lower part of my sternum. Picture quality came out pretty good the other night. It wasn't too shaky, and I recorded in 4K. And the reason why isn't really for the picture quality, it's for the larger area being recorded. For some reason, it makes it a lot less shaky than if I did 1080p with the same settings, same lens, same settings. So I really don't know how that works. I'm not a tech savvy. Well, I am kind of a tech savvy person, but I don't know how these cameras work like that. Oh, what do you got? Some trash out here? This trash has been out here for a while. I don't even know if that's trash. Looks like bags of, maybe they're waiting for some kind of project. Cubex. What the hell is Cubex? Oh. Yeah, that looks like stuff for, like when you're planting something or putting in new trees, you gotta put something around it. It looks like that kind of stuff. Definitely warmed up right now. My hands are warm now. I got my blood flowing from walking. Smell somebody smoking weed. Good walk tonight. A little bit of a breeze. It's getting a little breezy. Means the front is going by, and it's going to be warmer tomorrow, so bring it on. Well, the left is losing their minds. They're losing their minds because Trump's winning his court cases, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're trying to lower his numbers by being bullshit on the media. People aren't falling for it like they did before. It's a beautiful thing to watch. You know, you figured they'd learn. You know, they learned that 24 hours a day Trump is an orange Hitler. It didn't work. And the Democrats looked incredibly foolish for echoing that sentiment. The Constitution will be gone. It's the end of democracy. Orange Hitler. You know, I've seen young people online believing that Trump was going to be rounding up gays and trans people and putting them in concentration camps. Can you believe that? The rhetoric that they believe. They believe that, you know, secret police are going to be bashing people's doors in if they have a Hispanic name and deporting them. Stupid stuff like that. How to get people get that messed up? And I'll tell you how. They go to an online place like Blue Sky, which is a giant bubble. It's a giant bubble of far left extremism. And they say all this stuff to each other, and they nod their head in agreement as a group. Yeah, yeah. And then they repeat it in public, and they sound like insane people. I mean, look at all the stuff that was happening to Teslas. How easily influenced these young people were, and these far left extremist people. Friggin' dangerous. People are dangerous. So last night, I gotta tell you, I got an absolutely full night's sleep. Slept like a log. I slept several hours. This is a nice walk. It's actually quite pleasant. Now that I got my heart rate up and I'm warmed up. Alright, smell of wood stove. Well, while the rest of the country is experiencing spring, we're trying like hell. I will say the grass is trying to turn green in splotches. This is about average though. This is what Maine gets. Usually though we're warmer, and we will be tomorrow. So things are going to normalize. I'm going to get a little bit more rain later tonight. And overnight it's just going to be cloudy, and it's going to clear out tomorrow. Pretty quiet tonight, Sunday night. Usually is quiet. I'm the only one out here making noise. When I get back, I'll take a nice hot shower and uncoil. Sure, you can hear the breeze. is picking up. If it's noisy, I apologize. I have the wind cancel on the GoPro set to cancel winds, but it can only do so much. So we sit around, it feels like we're waiting for the next crazy thing to happen, you know. I don't know what's going to happen with tariffs. I think a lot of these other countries are going to work out a deal. They get 90 days, work out trade. Cabinet meeting by Trump, if you missed that this week. It was the Commerce Secretary said we were taking in $2 billion a day in tariffs right now. So that's all money into our treasury, which is, a lot of it's going to be used to pay down the debt along with the tax cuts. So we're going to give it some time for this stuff to kick in. Scott Bessant is a very smart man. And I trust him. It's gonna be nice when I can walk in just a shirt. I think that'll be coming soon. Well, I can shoot some hoops here. Shoot some baskets. Woman in my ear just said I hit 3 miles in 50 minutes. So that's a pretty good time. First mile is always the slowest, usually about 18 or 19 minutes. And then the rest of them are between 15 and 17. So 50 minutes. 3 miles is pretty good. I'm walking at a pretty good pace tonight. I'm not sightseeing. This is what you want. You want to be able to get your pace up, get your heart up, and keep your heart rate up through the entire walk. And not feel like you're torturing yourself. When you get to that point, that means you have your good stamina, which I do right now. I'm not breathing hard. I'm breathing about normal, a little above. You know, and I've said this before on here, I have been with, I've checked out other channels where people walk. And sometimes they walk about 5 or 6 blocks and they literally are going, you know, it sounds really terrible. I'm glad they're out walking. They definitely need it. It sounds to me like they've had too many years of not walking. So I'm going to go across the street here. I can hear a jet plane. Those cars got their brights on, with their high beams on. That I don't like. Whew. That breeze right now feels good because I'm hot. Oh yeah. Life is good, folks. Gotta enjoy it. It's short, it's fleeting. The wind feels good. The reason why that wind feels good is all winter long when you feel a wind like that at your back, it's bitter cold and it cuts through you. And this actually feels pretty decent. I'm going to be coming up on that flag that I always salute on the way by. You can hear the wind chimes. So the Attorney General of Maine, a liberal idiot, Department of Justice is going to be taking up, because the state of Maine was given 10 extra days to get rid of the trans women in women's sports. Maine's not complying. They're doubling down. The Attorney General of Maine says there is no Title IX violation. The DOJ is mistaken. So, men playing in women's sports does not violate Title IX rights of women. That's what this guy says. It sounds stupid on its face, you know? And they're going to lose. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. And Maine's going to lose almost $400 million. Probably some additional funding as well. And I hope Trump does it. We're a small state and we can't afford that. Democrats are going to try to make Trump look like the bad guy when public support just is not there. It just is not there by 80%. The trans women and women's sports issue. Salute the flag on the way by. Salut. God bless America. So, the Attorney General of Maine is going to be a lackey for the governor, because she's stupid too. What a crazy, messed up world we're in, man. Three and a half miles. According to the woman in my ear from my app. So we have 224 miles and some change walked this year thus far. We'll be adding to it tonight. 5 miles or so. Maybe with the loose change, we'll push 230 on the year so far. I like keeping track of that. That was a good suggestion. Thank you very much for that. You know who you are. All right, we're going to hang a left here. And down this way. We'll go through the home stretch. Yep. Ooh, feeling the walk right now. What I was telling you guys, everybody's different. But for me, I start feeling it the most between 3.5 and 4 miles. Now, it's not negative. It's not my back hurting. But I feel my muscles burning. And it's because I'm walking a steady, hard pace. I'm not taking my time. If I took my time, I would not be feeling like I am. So I'm kind of pushing it, you know? I'll be walking again tomorrow. Unless something unforeseen comes up, which it could. Smell another wood stove. Love that smell. I didn't bring my little flashlight with me, but I got my cell phone flashlight for the dark stretch coming up ahead when there's no lights. Still got a few minutes before we get there. So I want to say hi to a guy that watches that lives in the LA area. And he recently had his last day at work. JCPenney, I believe it was. He'd been working there a long time. And we're starting something new. Good luck to you. I checked out your channel. I subscribed to your channel also. Talk about. I don't have to talk all the time. I do know that I forgot my backup battery. Usually at night I'll have enough battery for a walk. We'll see what happens. But I am recording 4K, so I may actually run out of battery. And if I do, you'll know what happens. I think I got enough walk-in tonight to at least have something worth uploading. Actually, let me check it. Oh yeah, it says I still have about half. I still have about half of the battery. We're all right. I also have the setting where the back screen on the camera stays on the entire time I'm recording, and it doesn't need to be. So I need to adjust that too. Make sure it doesn't do that. It's just wasting battery. But we're almost where we need to go. Just hit 4 miles. 1 hour and 6 minutes. So that means I've done 1 mile and 16 minutes since the last update. That's a good time. Also helps save the battery if I walk fast. Don't make it last. All right. We'll hang a left over here. Whew. Right now my hips and my legs are burning. Walking at a really hard pace tonight. Oh, that breeze feels good. Well, hopefully we'll start seeing some little tree buds coming out. That would be nice. Whew. That's it. Keep on trucking. All right, getting ready for the last stretch. Maybe we'll see some deer tonight through the deer crossing up ahead. It's been a while. One summer night I walked into like 4 of them. They scared the hell out of me. Whew. There we go. Got my flashlight on. See where I'm walking. Any cars coming towards me will see me, hopefully. It's a slow Sunday night though. Probably about 10:30 at night. Feels like I left the ranch at 8:30. It's probably about 10 o'clock. Four and a half miles, hour and 14 minutes. Cross over, across the street. Whew, good workout tonight. Hear a car coming up behind me. Maybe not. I did hear one though. I might have turned off. No moonlight on this part tonight. Just my cell phone light. That car coming up behind me. Get off the road here. Don't see any deer eyeballs reflecting back at me. Up ahead here, I'll turn the flashlight off. I can see my breath. Car coming up behind me. Alright, turn this off, just like that. We got 4.73 miles. And to raise the phone up above the lens so you couldn't see me enter my password. My PIN number. Alright, we'll be coming up to the end of the walk shortly. Didn't get rained on tonight. Yesterday's walk we got rained on, which should be uploaded and live by now while I'm saying this. Good to be alive, friends. Be good to one another and try to be happy, enjoy life. I'm always optimistic. I'm not a negative person. I think it's a good way to be. I hear a frog. Yep, there's a frog. I was waiting for it to croak. The frogs are awake. So I guess this is what I call the body cam camera angle. You can see my hands out here. If I had to draw on somebody, it would look like this. Well, we'll be wrapping up this walk up ahead. We just hit 5 miles in an hour and 23 minutes. So that's good. Almost there. Almost where I'm going to stop recording. Still got battery left, so that's good. Alright, that's pretty awesome. That LCD screen on the back stayed on for the entire walk, and I still have battery left. That is pretty cool. Wouldn't be able to do that during the day though. More processor power used because of lighting. The nighttime one's pretty easy. Up ahead here, we'll show you what it looks like inside a weed store. Marijuana is legal in Maine. Making sure she's okay. Did you see what she just did? Did you see what that woman just did? Alright, I'm going to sign off, everybody. But what I wanted to tell you is, if you saw what that woman just did, she answered the door after they were closed. She unlocked it and opened it to talk to the guy. It looks like she's there alone. Can't believe people are that stupid. Now, I just happened to be walking by and I had a camera and he saw that. I don't think he had any bad intent. But what I'm saying is, what if he had, right? I can't believe how dumb people are. At a weed store, on top of that, you know? That would apply to a liquor store or any place that has cigarettes people are trying to rob. What a stupid... Anyway, I'll leave you with that tonight. God bless you guys. Thank you for walking with me and watching. I hope you enjoyed the walk tonight, and we will see you on the next one. God bless you and your family. Say a prayer for Trump and the country, and we'll see you later, everybody. Bye-bye. Stay safe.